Hello students, this is the part 1 video for chapter number 5 from civics, that is judiciary. So these are the topics that we are going to learn from the chapter, that is role of a judiciary, independent judiciary, next topic, and the next topic is structure of court in India. Next is branches of the legal system, and the last topic is does everyone have access to the court. So these are the topic that we are going to learn from the chapter. These are the glossary word what you have to write down in FNB. First one is verdict, decision of a court in a case. Next is null and void, that is invalid. Hierarchy, a system of rank. Directive, an order of a court to an authority. Jurist, an expert in law. Jurisdiction, that is authority or power of an official organization to make a deal with legal decisions. Next is petition, a written complaint or request. Litigation, the process of settling a dispute in a court. Next is activist, a person who works for a cause. So these are the glossary words what you have to write down in FNB. After this, few words, glossary words are given at the end of the chapter, that also you have to write after these words. So please complete that also. So let's start our 5th chapter, that is judiciary. So when we speak about judiciary, we means the judges or the courts taken collectively. Besides punishing wrongdoers and protecting the innocent from being wrongly punished, the judiciary performs many other functions which we will discuss in this chapter. So here we start. A glance at the newspaper provides us a glimpse of a range of work done by the court in this country. But can you think of why we need these courts? As you have read in Unit 2, in India we have the rule of law. What this means is that law apply equally to all persons, and that a certain set of fixed procedures need to be followed when a law is violated. To enforce this rule of law, we have judicial system that consists of the mechanism of court that a citizen can approach when a law is violated. As an organ of the government, the judiciary plays a crucial role in the functioning of India's democracy. It can play this role only because it is independent. What does an independent judiciary means? Is there any connection between the court in your area and the Supreme Court in New Delhi? In this chapter, you will find answers to these questions. So we are going to learn all about the judiciary, how they works, how they are independent, why they are able to take the decisions. If any of the law is being violated, so they are punishing us, but there is also certain kinds of procedures to follow before getting into this court area. So for what kind of crime this people are taken to the court, everything we are going to learn. The connection also, is there any connection between the Supreme Court or the court which is available in your area? Everything that we are going to learn from this chapter. Here you can see the picture of Supreme Court. Now what is the role of the judiciary? Courts take decision on a very large number of issues. They can decide that no teacher can beat a student, or about the sharing of river waters between states, or they can punish people for particular crimes. Broadly speaking, the work that the judiciary does can be divided into the following. So there are a number of decision that is being taken by the courts. A few examples are given over here, like teachers cannot beat, or the river water that has to be distributed between, or that should be shared between the two states, and they can punish the people, mainly those who have violated the law, and or they have done any kind of particular crime. So this judiciary work is being divided into divisions that you can see below. What are the divisions? That is disputes resolution, judicial review. Next is upholding the law and enforcing fundamental rights. So these are the divisions. Let's understand this. Disputes resolution. The judicial system provides a mechanism for resolving disputes between citizens and the government, and between two state government, and between the center and the state government. So dispute resolution, any kind of conflict between the citizen, by two citizen, or in between the citizen and the government, or by the two state government, like Rajasthan and Gujarat, they are going or having any kind of issue. So that has to be sorted out. So that resolution is given by the court, the judicial system. And even if the state government is having with the problem with the central government, or the central government is having any kind of issue with the state government, so this kind of disputes or conflicts resolution is being given by the judicial system. Judicial system review. As a final interpreter of the Constitution, the judiciary also has the power to strike down particular laws passed by the Parliament if it believes that these are violation of the basic structure of the Constitution. This is called as judicial review. This we have learned in the previous chapter also, how the laws are being made, and the last review is been taken by the judiciary, the court. If they feel that the law which has been passed, it is not proper, it is not going to work out, or it is harming any kind of group, or whether it is emotionally, then these laws can be changed. So violation should not be done, and whether the law has been made according to the constitutional guidelines, like equality is given to each and every people. So everything is being looked after by the judicial system. So they have to look after the law which is being passed by the Parliament. So they have to look after, they have to review that law, whether it is made or drafted according to the structure of Constitution or not. So this is called as judicial review. Upholding the law and enforcing fundamental rights. Every citizen of India can approach to the Supreme Court or to the High Court if they believe that their fundamental rights have been violated. For example, in class 7th book, you read about Hakim Sheikh, an agricultural laborer who fell from the running train and injured himself, and whose condition got worse because of several hospitals refused to admit him. On hearing his case, the Supreme Court ruled that Article 21, which provides every citizen the fundamental right to life, also includes the right to health. So it therefore directed the West Bengal government to pay him the compensation for the loss suffered, as well as to come up with a blueprint for the primary health care with particular reference to the treatment of patient during the emergency. So this we have learned the case of Hakim Sheikh, how he fell from the train and had a major injury. He was not being admitted to number of government hospitals. At last he went to the private hospital and paid the bill. So whatever bill he has paid to the private hospital, later on he got the compensation from the government itself, because he has filed a case against the government. Against which government? Against the government of West Bengal. Because as we are having the right to life, like right to live, so we are also having that right for health also, for good health also, because the government's work is to provide us better living and better health. So this was not being provided, that right was being violated. So he filed a case against the government, and because of the same he got the compensation. So how the Supreme Court has reviewed this, or how he has given his decision, like the Supreme Court said that Article 21 provides every citizen the fundamental right to life. So if they are providing the rights to live or life, means if the citizen is living in one particular state, then everything has to be provided to the citizen. So good health condition is also mostly provided by the government who is ruling over there. So he got that compensation. Here you can see that Paschim Bengal Khet Mazdoor Samiti with State of West Bengal 1996. This Samiti he was belonging to, they have filed a case on behalf of the Hakim Sheikh. Here to the right hand side you can see the picture, the Supreme Court of India. The Supreme Court was established on 26 January 1950. This is the important note. Remember it, or you can write down after the glossary as an important notes. The Supreme Court was established on 26 January 1950, the day India became a republic. Like its predecessor, the Federal Court of India 1937-1949. It was earlier located in the Chamber of Princes in the Parliament House. It moved to its present building on Mathura Road in New Delhi in 1958. So mainly when it was being established, that is important, so please highlight this. With the help of your teacher, fill the blank spaces in the table below. Now this you have to do, the table you have to do. So the disputes between center and the state, the example is GST bill. So the bill, GST bill, which was being implemented by the center, that was not accepted by many of the states. Many states said that it will damage their income because they have to pay extra, they have to pay more extra money to them, so that will damage their income. So that was the example. In detail you can go to the Google and just study well. So in general I am just sharing the things. Second is the dispute between the two states. So here I would like to give the example, that is Mangad Hill on the border of two states, that is Rajasthan and Gujarat. So Gujarat claims that half of the hill is of them, the Gujarat, and the Rajasthan claims that the whole hill is of theirs. So there were dispute between claiming the hill for the hill basically. So the conflict or the dispute between the two states for hill, this is the common example I am giving away. Which hill? That is Mangad Hill. Just go through the Google again to read it in detail. Now dispute between the two citizens, it could be any, it could be a murder case, it could be a property deal, or it could be a common fight between family members. So this conflict can be counted in many ways. For this I would like to give an example like harm caused to the dignity of individual, like insulting anyone or irrespecting anyone. One example I can give away, that is in the case of Om Prakash Valmiki, he was being discriminated, insulted, his dignity was being also harmed because of his religion or caste. And the case of the Muslim, those who were not getting the house for rent as they are non-vegetarian. So these are the such way how the dignity of a person is being harmed. So this can be an example, a dispute between the two citizens. Now laws that are in violation of the constitution. Here I would like to give the example, the communal violence that engulfed the state of Gujarat in 2002. So there were disputes between the two community, that is Hindu and Muslim. So the laws are in the violation of the constitution, because during that communal disputes, many of them they were deprived of their fundamental rights. They were being discriminated on the basis of caste, religions and belief, because according to the constitution, it has not to be done. Nobody should discriminated on the basis of their gender, caste or religion. That was being done in that cases. There were certain many issues what is mentioned in the constitution, and the laws are being violated in the communal disputes during 2002 in Gujarat. Please go through this. This is very important. You should understand what are the fundamental rights and what are the laws which are being violated during the communal violence. So write down this table, complete the table, whatever example I have given. What is an independent judiciary? Imagine a situation in which a powerful politician has encroached on land belonging to your family. Within this judicial system, the politician has the power to appoint and dismiss a judge from his office. When you take this case to court, the judge is clearly partial to the politician. The control that the politician holds over the judge does not allow for the judge to take an independent decision. This lack of independence would force the judge to make all judgments in favor of politician. Although we often hear of rich and powerful people in India trying to influence the judicial process, the Indian Constitution protects against this kind of situation by providing for the independence of the judiciary. So one aspect of this independence is separation of powers. This as you read in chapter 1 is a key feature of the Constitution. What this means here is that the other branches of the government, that is legislature and the executive, cannot interfere in the work of judiciary. The courts are not under the government and do not act on their behalf. For the above separation to work well, it is also crucial that all judges in High Court as well as Supreme Court are appointed with very little interference from these other branches of government. Once appointed to these offices, it is also very difficult to remove a judge. It is the independence of the judiciary that allow the court to play a central role in ensuring that there is no misuse of power by the legislature and the executive. It also plays a crucial role in protecting the fundamental rights of citizens, because anyone can approach the court if they believe that their rights have been violated. So here such example is given, like just to imagine the situation if the powerful politician is having all kind of power, and the person belonging to his family, if he has done any kind of crime, when he is represented in court, then what would happen? The judges who has been appointed by the politicians, what happens? The judge will take away the decision on the behalf of the politician. And on the other way, you can say as he was in power, the politician is in power, he can manipulate the decision, and the judges or the court are not able to take the independent decision. So is this a right way to give away justice to the people? As our constitution says that we are equal before law, nobody is above the law. But according to this situation, here politician become more powerful if the power is given to the politician. So because this kind of situation should not be faced by any of the common citizen, or the power should not be given to any one particular person, the separation is very much necessary. That we have also learnt in chapter 1, the key feature of the Constitution, that there are three organs or three branches of the government, that is legislature, executive and judiciary. Though they are individually more powerful, the branches, but even though they are not allowed to interfere in each other's matter. Now if you talk about the first organ, that is legislature, what is its work? To make a law. So up to there its work is completed. Then the executive work is to implement the law to each and every state. Then the work of judiciary is to just to look after the law, whether it should not be violated. the laws. If the laws are being violated by any of the citizen or the person in the power, he could get the punishment according to the law, because with the law they are also writing down the punishment, what has to be done, whether the person, it depends upon to the person's violation of law, whether it is severe or whether it is minor. Like for the murder case and all, they can be sent to the jail. Like if the traffic rule is being violated, then just they have to pay the penalty. So this kind of thing is being written with the law when it is being drafted or made. So here judiciary needs to work independently, only then he can give away the justice to the people. So this is done by, the crucial role is being played by High Court and Supreme Court, and mainly this is being looked after by the judges. Nobody could interfere, like legislature or the executive branches or the person who is in power. Even though the Prime Minister cannot interfere in the matter of judiciary, because judiciary, as we learned in the first page of this chapter, that there is a judicial review. They are looking after the law, whether that is being made according to the constitutional guidelines or not. So everything is being looked after by the court itself, judicial review that we have seen. Now once appointed to this office, it is also very difficult to remove a judge. So the political person is not having any kind of power to remove a judge. So it is independent judiciary that allows the court to play a central role in ensuring there is no misuse of power by the legislature or the executive, because in legislature all the MLA works together to take over the decision, so they are not having any kind of role in judiciary, or they cannot interfere or they cannot misuse their power. And even the executive who is implementing the law in state, he is or she is also not having any kind of power to interfere in judiciary matter. So the court plays a crucial role, and even they protect the fundamental right of the citizen. And if the citizen rights are being violated, so any of the citizen can directly approach to the court if their fundamental rights are being violated. So up to here till for this video, and complete the worksheet till the topic what we have completed. Next topic, what is the structure of court in India, that we will learn in next video. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you.